Tamara Martinez, file 25-712 on FH. Counselor, want to state your appearances?
Mr. Goodrich, when kind of question?
And James Gilbert here on behalf of Ms. Martinez.
All right, and we're here for sentencing on charge of possession of tramadol and R&O. Those are 2-year maximums, 0 to 11 guidelines in both files. Any additions, corrections, or sporting challenges from the defense?
Your Honor, we did, when we went through the PSI, we saw that she had pending charges. I believe she did follow up. There was a fine that was due up in Marquette. She's taking care of that.
Okay.
We just want to let the court know, but yeah, we don't have no additions or corrections or sporting challenges.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges from the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gilbert, go ahead with any elocution.
Well, she has done a fantastic job over the course of this case. This case is, if we look at the date, it's been going on for quite some time. And the reason for that was that Tamara voluntarily went into a religious type organization that focuses on basically people that have addictions. It was up in the UP. We kept monitoring her, and the prosecutor was involved with this.
Was she at the Mission Bible Training Center up there? Or,
Yeah.
And I know I talked with the staff there, and basically she knocked it out of the park. She did a fantastic job. She's doing well with her sobriety. She's doing well in staying off of things, and we're in support of the recommendation. I know she would like me to ask for less probation, just due to the fact that she has been on bond quite a while and done very well. We've had no issues with her, and again, has been very aggressive about trying to address what got her in this position. And so, thank you.
Ms. Martinez, you don't have to say anything to me today, but you're welcome to. Is there anything you want to say or no?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. On September 3rd of 2025, the defendant was asked to leave someone's home. She was intoxicated at the time. She had walked outside, stumbling around. After an officer instructed her she could not go back in the house, she walked around the officer and went back into the house. She was arrested. In her backpack there was tramadol, and her PBT that day was a 0.268. The defendant is 66 years old. She has 1 felony and 17 misdemeanors. She's on Social Security with a GED. I was surprised to learn in the PSI that the Mission Bible Training Center actually doesn't address substance abuse issues and doesn't provide counseling or any therapy, because I thought she was in a rehab type place.
Yes, I understand those. It's similar to Lions Den and Rest Common, where I think of it as a residential support group. So think of it as like a live-in AA, religious based. The people that run those usually are people in recovery, and they have a lot of rules, they have a lot of structure, and they do a good job with what they do, but it's not evidence-based treatment modalities. It's not a residential facility. It's not a residential treatment facility. I think of it like as a residential AA.
Well, that makes me feel better than that there was some type of addressing her substance abuse issues, because I think that's what this case is really about. And the reason why we have the no immediate jail plea agreement. So I would ask the court to follow the PSI recommendations for 1-year probation to address those substance abuse issues.
Great, thank you. Well, Ms. Martinez, you're 66 years of age. You only have 1 prior felony and a whole bunch of misdemeanors. And it looks like a lot of those would have been, alcohol issues or other issues, other substances, but alcohol seems to have been a highlight of those cases. And in this case, you're a 0.268. And so you take a minor situation and you turn it into a felony, which that tends to happen when people are very, very drunk. They don't make the best of decisions. And with the history that you've got of substance use, I note that you're residing with your daughter and her husband right now.
No, I'm not. Actually, a few days. Well, I think it's been a week. I did move down to the North Country Inn.
Okay, so you have your own housing now.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
my stepping stone.
Okay, good. But they've been a good support for you, and
Pardon?
but they've been a good support for you. Is that right?
Yes. Well, when I went up to the mission, have a problem with, not a vodka girl at all. I had problems like, when that would happen, I'd have a blackout into something kind of, the way I was raised to, and I kind of said that, and, well, I did, I wrote a testimony. And I always knew there was something there that was kind of wrong, you know, and I explained it as a missing piece of the puzzle, but I understand it was, the missing piece was God. I didn't realize that we were gonna have eternity and keep on living, and I was real depressed and scared.
Okay.
So, I don't have that now because I got that faith and understanding that we're gonna carry on and everything's gonna be okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we can't undo the 65 years in the past, but you can move forward in a better way. And I'm happy to hear you've got some better direction going on. And I hope you continue with that, Ms. Martinez. I mean, the main thing is going to be you have to stay as far away as possible from any alcohol or drugs. I mean, this is going to be a major problem for you. So you got to continue on with all those things. So I am going to place you on probation as recommended. It is for 12 months, but here's the thing, you are going to be eligible to petition for release from probation after 6 months if you've completed all the things that the probation agent wants you to do, okay? It'll be during that 12 months, you're subject to the terms and conditions listed in the pre-sentence report. I want to highlight some of them. You have to go to AANA or other support group meetings as recommended or required by your field agent. You have to complete a substance abuse assessment and treatment for substance abuse as required by your field agent. And you have to attend either a psychological evaluation or therapy counseling as recommended by your field agent. Okay, so you've got a boss in your life right now, and it's me through our probation agents, okay? And the probation agent is going to give you directions about what you have to do with counseling and with treatment and with support groups. And these are not suggestions to you, they are requirements. Okay, so you have to follow all those things. And there's also a mandatory crime victims assessment of $130 and state cost of $136. The court will also assess court costs in the amount of $350. And there's a monthly supervision fee to the Department of Corrections. I'm not going to impose any jail. That's consistent with the advisory guidelines and also with the sentence agreement for no upfront jail. Do you want her to stick around to speak with you?
Yes, please.
Okay, stick around to talk to Agent Martin before you go. Okay, so go out in the hallway and you can talk to her. You can appeal if you wish by filing an application with the Court of Appeals. If you wanted a lawyer, you'd have to ask me within 6 months. We're going to hand you a piece of paper about your probation rights, if we didn't already, and we're going to hand you a piece of paper about your rights to appeal. We want you to initial one copy of that so that we have a record we gave it to you. The other one is for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Martinez?
Well, it's not that I minded, I didn't understand this at first, because I got a lot on my plate right now.
Okay.
You know, because of all my counseling and stuff that, Great Lakes I'm going through.
Okay.
They have group meetings and also I see a counselor every week.
Well, that's fine. You'll just have to make sure to sign the releases so that your super, so that Agent Martin knows about those things and, you know, can keep track of those things with you, okay?
Yeah, it makes it okay with me because I'm already doing those things, so.
Wow.
Well, I have a little news
The
for you.
judge
It
made
doesn't
that
matter to me if
crystal
it's okay
clear.
with you. I'm going to order you to do
No
those
room
things.
for
Doesn't matter
negotiation,
to me
no
if you like it or not.
misunderstanding, just a
You'll have
direct
to.
reminder that these
Oh.
conditions are court orders,
All
not
right,
suggestions.
thank you.
Okay, you have a good. day. Good luck.
Okay.
Toby McGee, and Mr. Gilbert, you've had a chance to review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Mr. McGee and I had discussed this prior to today, but I had to get him additional copies and talk to him. So
And the advisory guidelines are at 0 to 6. Any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges?
no additions or corrections or scoring challenges.
Okay, Ms. Goodrich, any from the people?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Gilbert, we do have the show cause where Mr. McGee, it's alleged that you're in contempt of court for violating your bond for a positive alcohol test. Looks like back in December. I'm not sure. Well, I signed this in March, but Mr. Gilbert, you know what we're gonna do with that? Or?
Well, he is going to admit that he did. His grandfather passed away, and he did drink alcohol.
Okay.
After that incident.
So, Mr. McGee, you understand you have the right to have a hearing on that question and the assistance of your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. And contempt of court would be a maximum 93 days jail or a fine of up to 7,500. Do you understand that?
Correct.
Has anybody promised you anything in exchange for admitting that?
No,
Anybody threatened you?
no, sir.
It's your own free choice.
Yes,
Knowing all this, how do you wish to plead to contempt of court? Guilty or not guilty? So, Mr. McGee, you were on a bond in this case that required you not to use or possess alcohol or controlled substances. Is that right?
correct.
And while you were on those conditions, did you in fact drink alcohol?
Yes,
And that was, you said somebody close to you had passed away. Is that right?
and my grandfather.
All right, Mr. Gilbert, you satisfied?
I am.
Ms. Goodrich?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. McGee, I find that your plea is knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily made, and that there is a sufficient basis, in fact, in law to believe you're in contempt, and so I do so find. So we'll enter a judgment of contempt. And so, Mr. Gilbert, anything you want to say with regard to what's a proper sentence for the underlying charge as well as the contempt? Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Excuse me. I know that the recommendation is at the higher end of the guidelines. I would ask the court to, Mr. McGee's done pretty well on bond, other than the one incident we just had, that probation might be a more appropriate resolution than incarceration. Mr. McGee, right from the get-go, was acknowledging that he committed this crime, took culpability for it, and was with me until we could come up with a resolution. And even just like with this probation violation, did you violate? Yes, I did. This is what happened. He had the same attitude with me on the underlying case, that he wasn't going to. He wanted to take culpability, and so I would ask that the court consider a lesser jail stint than 6 months, possibly no jail, with jail held in abeyance with a longer term of probation. I would ask the court to consider that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McGee, you don't have to tell me anything further today about this, but you're welcome to. Is there anything you want to tell me? No.
All right, that's what happened.
Well, not just what happened, but you can tell me anything you want right now, but you don't have to make a statement.
I just wish not to go to jail. I take care of my kids every day. I have a daughter and a son. So probation would be nice for me, but I know what I did. Taking full accountability with my actions.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. This is an unusual case that back in December of 2025, the defendant had picked up a fraudulent prescription for codeine. This was happening more than once, and the police were alerted that there may be another potential one. So they were on standby. After his arrest, the fraudulent prescription problem in the area stopped. I don't know if he was just doing it or a group of people, or I guess some or no. The defendant is 31 years old. He was 23 at the time of his first arrest. He has 1 prior felony, 1 misdemeanor. He's unemployed with a high school diploma. The guidelines are 0 to 6 months. The recommendations is 6 months jail with credit for 4 days served. I'd ask the court to follow the PSI recommendations.
All right. Well, Mr. McGee, you don't have to. I mean, you've got to, even when you have taken responsibility for your part in it, you've got a Fifth Amendment right where we can't extract more information from you than you want to give about what was going on. But the probation agent, the prosecutor, and frankly myself, we got some questions about that in our minds. Like there's clearly something going on, and you don't want to share with us who else may have been participating or what all was going on. And I understand that, and I'm not sentencing you today, more harshly because you don't want to, participate in that part of it. But what does concern me is we do have the one bond violation. It's not an extreme one, but we do have that issue. But also then this was, I think your involvement was on more than one occasion. I mean, you're committing a willful fraud of traveling to an area where you really don't have any connections to, and submitting fraudulent prescriptions to obtain a controlled substance. I don't then know what you're doing with that substance, or why you're coming all that way to do that. But that's concerning. I mean, I don't think that putting you on probation is really going to accomplish a whole lot. You don't have so I understand the recommendation not to put you on probation. I don't think I'm going to do that. You only have one felony. It was just a couple of years ago down in Genesee on a weapons, looks like a weapons felony. So I guess taking all those things into account, Mr. McGee, what I'm going to do is there's some fines and costs involved. There's $68 in state cost, $130 in the crime victims assessment, $350 in court costs. And I think what I am going to do is I am going to order you to serve a little jail, but it's going to be 2 months. I'm going to order you to serve 2 months in the Sheboygan County Jail, credit for 4 days previously served. And on the contempt, I'm going to order you to serve 10 days jail concurrent with that. So we'll just enter a judgment of contempt on that, but it won't add to your time. That's the sentence of the court, Mr. McGee. I'm not going to put you on probation. So when you're done with your time, whatever the jail calculates your out time with a good time, if you behave back there, then you're not on any paper with me. You do owe those fines and costs. So you got to make those arrangements, or we'll see each other again on a contempt show cause. If you wanted to appeal, you can do so by filing an application to the Court of Appeals. If you want a lawyer appointed, you have to ask me for that within 6 months. We're going to hand you some paperwork about that. Ask you to initial one copy for us. The other one is for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. Any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck to you.
And just like that, the judge's decision is final. One defendant walked away with a second chance under strict supervision, while the other left with jail time and a hard lesson about accountability. Cases like these are a reminder that every choice matters, and eventually, every choice gets weighed in court.